Dome, Monday morning coffee, strong pouring everything you got into a paycheck Friday night. Your power stroke, diesel backhoe riding king, 18-wheeler driving, living life in between the lines of clocking in and quitting time. Then the six-string circus comes to town. We hang them speakers over the crowd. When the lights come on, everybody's screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody's singing every word to every song of the girl they're taking tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling a hallelujah from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink that we're having, the smoke that we're having.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports.
Thank you, Larry. We welcome everyone to the Music City, just a stone's throw from the Country Music Hall of Fame. We are at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, and the Tennessee Titans. Shift together here from the D-line.
Hey. Four down. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And when you're trying to set up a count, if they stayed out late the night before the game, they're not moving as fast, it's a lousy call because that means they're just going to sit in the hole that you hope to create just by the movement of your offensive line.
And there they got the ball to the outer third of the field, but tap them behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, things get stacked up in there if they don't move as well as you want them to, and probably just trying to escape and couldn't get away.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So that's the word from the referee, neutral zone infraction, 5 yards.
And, of course, the defense is always pointing at the offense about how they drew them across. Flag goes against the defenders on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain, and it's second down. So second and medium, 2nd and 5 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From midfield, here's McCarron surveying the field. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Strong right. All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a pickup of 7 on the ground. That trims it to a 3rd and 15 situation. A long way to go for the offense here on 3rd down.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call it the stop. That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
It's caught right side. It turns. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now the fourth-year man from Texas A&M, Christian Michael. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback.
It's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Here's Bradford, and he's got his man on the out route. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at him with the same play, the same set.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Dion Lewis, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Big mistake here by the kicker, kicking it out of bounds.
The one that drives coaches crazy. Keep it in the field of play and let your guys cover.
So the D-line's going to spread out. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On play action, it's McCarron. The catch is made by Kendall Wright. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
3 yards remaining here on second down. And they give this time to the tailback. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a third and about 3 to go. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Play fake here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Off the play fake, Bradford. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
First down, Bradford. Gets it to Gordon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. The penalty really backs up the offense here on first down. Now 20 yards to go. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. To the air again with Bradford. Forced out to his left. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a second and long.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time, and that'll make it third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 1st and 10, Bradford. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. That last drive, I think it's a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Hey. Green 39! Green 39!
On 1st and 10, here's A.J. McCarron. He's got time in the pocket. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
McCarron, he's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So,
and now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Shift together here from the D-line. McCarron now on 1st down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Taking him down is a veteran, Darrelle Revis.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Throwing, Bradford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And they went big on 1st down. Proves unfruitful.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding. Defense.
Well, they have the yards anyway, so they're going to decline the penalty. Extra point try now for Crosby. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now A.J. McCarron and the offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point.
Green 39! Green 39!
McCarron to throw on 2nd down. He's got time. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now here's McCarron on 3rd. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And taken right at the 35. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Sam Bradford heading back out as he and his offense get ready to go again. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good to this point. A 2nd down throw for Bradford. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Here's Bradford. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Pass interference. Defense.
Certainly some contact there, and that's why there's a penalty on the defender for pass interference.
So hard to time it up for a defender to hit the receiver when the ball arrives. Got there a little bit early on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets them closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal.
And there's the head linesman right on it to spot him short of the goal line. They gave it to the fullback there, trying to let him just ram his way across. But things are going to get interesting now on 3rd and goal.
Well, they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal.
Let's go! 1, 9, 1.
They'll try and run for it with Michael. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Christian Michael with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Jags defense as they get back out there. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. Defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast. But it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Up in 2 minutes. We'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Throwing on first. Here's McCarron finding time. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A.J. McCarron looking to throw. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw is McCarron. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. McCarron to throw once more. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 1st and 10, here's A.J. McCarron. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Sam Bradford heading back out as he and his offense get ready to go again. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead. And
now they'll look to extend that lead. And they're going to speed things up here. Halfback sent in motion. Second down, Bradford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Bradford on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Holding offense.
Oh, come on.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? the guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down, or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Damn, I'm going. Look at that. I'll take this.
Defense.
So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the football. If there's any contact at all before he gets there, those officials will throw the flag and call interference. Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Trey McBride now to return. And he'll take this across the 25. Jeez, I don't even want to let their guys get a drink of water. All right, third quarter, let's get to it. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's Bradford. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage. Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
On the carry, Michael. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock. And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Come on, baby.
False start. Offense.
On the run, this is Michael. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Now a second down throw for Bradford. Steps away to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Brad Nortman now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
McCarron, and incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. This is taken at about the 14. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Bulldozes past him. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends from the wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Bradford looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. On first down, McCarron, incomplete.
Oh.
He was looking for Dorial Green-Beckham, and that'll bring up second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. McCarron again here on 2nd and 10. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's finally out of bounds, but he's taken it all the way down to the 8. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, you don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the fourth quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. McCarron on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. It's Green-Beckham for the Titan touchdown. Dorial Green-Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. Darius used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45. Ace, back 58, rail.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now Bradford throwing the slant pattern here complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Here we go.
Now a give. It's Michael. And a gadget package there won't do much for him. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Back now in Nashville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4.
nickel set shown by the Titans on third down.
Thinking pass. Bradford to throw it this time. And he's got it to Hearns. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
First down, Bradford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Allen Hearns hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. The fly route works for the TD ground.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
All right, here we go.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's McCarron to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Over the middle this time to Fowler. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans.
False start, offense.
On third and long, it's McCarron. Green Beckham has it over the middle. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense that they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
It's Christian Michael, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And he's back here in the struggle department in this one like he was a week ago. And, partner, I think you can pin some of this on that O-line. That room to run, just not there.
You mentioned last week that it felt like the offensive line was getting beaten to the punch by the guys across the ball.
Well, it was pretty evident, I thought.
I mean, they were off the ball fast, penetrating, getting into the offensive backfield, really spilling a lot of runs before they got started. So I thought your observation was spot on then, and you're right there again this week. Same thing is happening, not able to get started because they're not able to control the point of attack.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Time running out here on the play clock. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
The play clock's running down. On third down, Bradford dancing to his left, fighting through. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Here's Brad Nortman now, as he'll punt it away for the second time.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
A.J. McCarron looking to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route.
Oh, no.
That one goes for 24 yards.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Complete on the right side to Green Bankham. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now McCarron throwing on second. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
Here we go. 3-19.
On second down, here's McCarron. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a gain of 6, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long.
4 down, 4 down. Check. 4 down, 4 down. Here we go now. 3, 19.
And again, it's McCarron. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Throw left side complete to Sharp. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And from the red zone now, it's McCarron. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans.
False start, offense.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
McCarron to throw once more. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance. And
now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Now let's go.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now McCarron, he's got to have this one. Surveying the field. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Prince Amukamara.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So 2nd and 10 here. Throwing here, Bradford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. For Bradford. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. Here's Brad Nordman now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense now. They work their way back onto the field. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got his man on the out route. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Going right side here, and that's complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Well, not the position they want to be in. Still a very, very small chance here, but they almost need a miracle.
Agreed. That means they've got to get it to the sidelines, get out of bounds, and preserve clock.
And McCarron will try again on 2nd. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it's 3rd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. A.J. McCarron looking to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans.
False start, offense.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. To throw is McCarron. He's got time in the pocket. And he locates Luke Wilson. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
and they pick up the first down on a fourth down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on third down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
McCarron. Wide open receiver complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Defense showing blitz. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And they're down to 17 seconds now here after the spike. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope. And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part 1 of the equation done. Now they need to convert and then get that onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. A lot of